Have you ever noticed how much of your life runs on autopilot? The way you reach for your phone the moment silence fills the room. The way you eat even when you're not hungry. The way you avoid the hard thing, convincing yourself you'll do it tomorrow. You don't decide these things anymore. They decide you. And yet, here's the uncomfortable truth. Your life is nothing more than the sum of these silent choices. Day after day, the invisible pattern of what you repeatedly do carves you into who you are becoming. Not your dreams, not your intentions, not even your values. Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And if he was right, then the real question isn't, what do you want to achieve? The real question is, what are you doing again and again without even noticing? Think about your mornings. Most of us wake up and immediately repeat yesterday. Same thoughts, same rituals, same distractions. The terrifying thing is this: we can live the same day for years and call it a life. Nietzsche warned of this in his idea of the eternal recurrence. He asked us to imagine living the same life over and over again for eternity. Would you rejoice at the repetition? Or would it feel like a curse? Most of us, if we're honest, would feel trapped because our habits aren't built, they're inherited from culture, from family, from the path of least resistance. Aristotle knew this. He lived in a world where philosophy wasn't just abstract, it was practical. It was about shaping the soul. And for him, the soul was molded not by grand decisions, but by the small, repeated actions of everyday life. Here's the lie we tell ourselves: if I just try harder, if I just want it badly enough, I'll finally change. But history laughs at this lie. Bonhoeffer, the German theologian who resisted the Nazis, observed how even good people collapse under habit. He wrote about how, in moments of weakness, our reasoning disappears. We know what we should do, but it's like we're watching someone else make the wrong choice in our own body. Psychologists today call this the habit loop. Cue, routine, reward. Once the loop is wired in, your conscious willpower doesn't stand a chance. It's like trying to fight a hurricane with a candle. So what do? Aristotle's answer was brutal and liberating at the same time. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. Picture a sculptor chiseling a statue. Each strike of the hammer is small, almost meaningless. But repeated thousands of times, it shapes stone into beauty. Your habits are that sculptor. Every repeated action is a strike on the marble of your character, and eventually the shape becomes permanent. Aristotle called this hexis, a stable disposition of the soul. It's not just what you do, but who you are becoming. And this is the chilling thought. If you practice dishonesty, you become dishonest. If you practice avoidance, you become a coward. Not in a single moment, but in the slow accumulation of repeated choices. We don't notice it happening, but habits are carving us day after day into something solid, something permanent. So ask yourself, what do your habits say about who you are becoming? Not your dreams, not your ideals, not your excuses. The truth is in what you actually repeat. If someone followed you for a week unseen, writing down everything you did, would the story they write match the story you tell yourself? Machiavelli once wrote that men are driven by two things, fear and desire. But what really drives us is repetition. The grooves of habit are stronger than fear, stronger than desire. And this means that the life you think you want will never appear, unless your habits quietly build it, brick by brick. So how do we change? How do we escape the prison of bad habits and build the ones that last? Here's Aristotle's hidden law. Virtue is practiced into existence. Courage is not a single bold act, it's the habit of standing firm. Discipline is not a sudden burst of will, it's the routine of doing what must be done. Wisdom is not just knowledge, it's the daily choice to reflect, observe, and adjust. Modern psychology confirms this. Neuroscience shows that repetition rewires the brain. Every habit is a pathway. Walk it enough times, and it becomes a highway. Neglect it, and it fades into grass. So the way forward is not willpower, but ritual. Tiny, repeatable actions that slowly bend your character in the direction you desire. Wake up and make your bed, not because the bed matters, but because the act trains discipline. Read a page of philosophy, not because one page changes you, but because the ritual trains attention. Do the difficult thing once a day, not because you'll win every time, but because the repetition teaches courage. But here's the twist Aristotle didn't tell you outright. Habits are not inherently good. They are power, and power can corrupt as easily as it can save. A life of comfort becomes the habit of weakness. A life of scrolling becomes the habit of avoidance. A life of lying becomes the habit of self-betrayal. You don't escape habit. You only choose which habits hold you. And that's why Aristotle placed habits at the core of ethics. Because the stakes are not small. They are your entire life. Aristotle's Greece was obsessed with the idea of telos, the ultimate purpose of a thing. The telos of a knife is to cut. The telos of an eye is to see. And the telos of a human? To live in alignment with virtue, with excellence. But excellence isn't a mood. It's not a motivational speech. It's the long game of becoming through habit. Imagine two people. One spends 10 minutes each morning complaining, scrolling, procrastinating. Another spends 10 minutes journaling, reflecting, stretching. In a single day, they look the same. But over 10 years, they are not even recognizable as the same species of human. Here's the eternal test. If you were forced to live today on repeat, again and again forever, would you want to? If the answer is no, then your habits are betraying you. And the only way out is to rewrite them, slowly, patiently, repetitively. Plato said that the soul is like a charioteer pulled by two horses, one noble, one wild. Habits are the reins. They decide whether you crash or soar. So here's Aristotle's secret to building habits that last. Don't chase intensity, chase consistency. Don't wait for willpower, build rituals. Don't hope for excellence. Practice it daily until it becomes second nature. Because in the end, your habits are not just what you do. They are the invisible architecture of who you are becoming. And one day, when the repetition is complete, you will look in the mirror and realize, this is who I am. This is who I built. The question is, will you recognize that person? Or will they feel like a stranger you never meant to become? The chiseling never stops. Every action is another strike of the hammer, and your life is the statue being revealed. So choose carefully, because habits don't just shape what you do, they shape who you are.